What's going on, YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about Dark Crisis, Worlds Without a Justice League, Green Arrow. This one's written by Stephanie Phillips, and some other people worked on the book too. There's even a backup storyline in here, also focused on Green Arrow and Black Canary for whatever reason. But here we go. Green Arrow, Black Canary, their Worlds Without a Justice League series, made from the innermost hopings of the Justice League and these weird dream states. Yeah, I don't buy that storyline explanation at all. It's not further elaborated. These are the innermost hopings of the Justice League, these miserable worlds, and Ollie doesn't even have like everyone he cares about there. Where's Emmy? Where's his baby sister? She's not in this thing at all. How can this be the innermost hopings if he doesn't even have his full family here? That's just kind of something that kind of left me a little during this thing. It's like there's one issue here, the storyline where he's kind of like Robin Hood back in the day. You have Roy, you have Mita, you have even Connor there, who, mind you, Ollie has not seen since he's been back. But yeah, this is part of his innermost hopings of the Justice League, and he doesn't have his baby sister there. That's kind of a work thing, but the artwork is quite good. And if you're a Green Arrow and Black Canary fan, you do get a lot of the whole relationship, and like their like love knows no endless bounds or whatever. Like even through these different various dream worlds or whatever, they come into contact with each other. Like you can't, like their love is so powerful that it can't tear them apart. Artwork is quite good, by the way, and there is some decent action. And then this Green Arrow, other version of Green Arrow, shows up looking a lot like Aquaman. But I think that's kind of been a joke where like Oliver Queen and like Arthur Curry do look a lot alike, but they do come in and kind of fight here, and they're still in these dream states by the end of it. And then there's another dark army thing, and Pariah needs the energy. It's just Dark Crisis has not been that great. Even then, they come across like another weird dream state thing where in some future and whatever visions are going on here, and then yeah, they find each other. I don't know, like in terms of the overall storyline for Dark Crisis, like these whole prison storylines just feel really unnecessary. It really hasn't done much to forward the narrative, and even then, the Justice League is already kind of broken out of these little prisons beforehand. I just don't see why these stories are all that necessary. I feel like I'm just kind of wasting money. There's no big plot revelations in these Worlds Without a Justice League storylines. I don't buy the fact that these are the innermost hopings of the Justice League. Like, read that right there. Needing to power Pariah's deadly machines or whatever, however this works, I don't know. What is it powered by? What is it in the Justice League that powers them? Like, how does the energy exactly work? Their minds? Is it like is there a new like forbidden like energy that we're not supposed to know about that powers these things? Like, what is it that powers these machines exactly? Is it the power of love that powers it? I don't really understand what's really powering these machines. Using his ever-growing dark abilities, each world has been created from the innermost hopes of the Justice League. How is this the innermost hopes when most of these worlds are kind of miserable in some sort of capacity? That doesn't make much sense, unless Pariah's just been manipulating these worlds to be more miserable for whatever reason. But I just don't know. Dark Crisis has been kind of a disappointment for me. There's been some elements that have been decent, but it's never really hit like a top-tier level, because this is a crisis. It should feel bigger, but because DC also does so many events, it's just not working. We did Future State, then we did Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, which doesn't feel really much like a crisis. It just feels kind of okay. It could be so much better, but it's just not hitting the mark like it should. So yeah, I'm kind of underwhelmed with this one. Not really a huge fan overall of these like Worlds Without a Justice League storylines, but if you're looking for some Green Arrow and Black Canary content and you want to showcase how important their love is, then I guess you're getting some of that here. It just, the whole like connection to Dark Crisis, it's not doing much. It's not pushing the narrative forward all that much. And there's no real big plot revelations. At least in the Swamp Thing one, we got to see what was up with that whole machine thing, and it at least built like over like it kind of added more to the story, even though I wasn't a huge fan of that issue. But like this one, it's just another one of these pointless like filler storylines that just has the Dark Crisis name attached to it all. So and even then, they're already kind of out of these machines by the time this thing's released. So at this point, it's like, what am I even really doing with this? The only reason I'm reading it is because I'm a completionist. I have to read everything in an event, even all the tie-ins that really haven't done much in terms of pushing the narrative forward, especially these Worlds Without a Justice League storylines. The only tie-ins that has been really good was the Flash stuff, because it pushed the narrative forward, it still kept the feel of the Flash book, and it was just entertaining overall. A lot of these other ones, they're just not hitting the nail on the head right now. But I will say it was nice to get a Green Arrow focused thing, because Green Arrow has not had a book since his Rebirth run ended, and that Rebirth run was fantastic, the one by Ben Percy, and then like another creative team came in just to kind of wrap up a few things, then it kind of sort of ended, and he has not had a solo book since, and that's a real shame because I really liked it. And another thing too, Innermost Hopings, why isn't everyone in the Arrow fam here? Hell, Diggle makes an appearance, but not his baby sister. Come on now. And Connor Hawke, he hasn't even like interacted with Connor since Robbins came around. He doesn't even seem to have acknowledged he's like back in existence or whatever for some reason. So unless I missed something, did I miss something? Somebody please tell me if I missed something. It could just be a lot better, but take it for what it's worth. If you want Dinah and Ollie content, you're gonna get that in this thing. If not, then skip it, I guess. It doesn't do like much to push the narrative forward. The artwork is good though. The artwork is good, I will say that. So all right, well, that's all I got to say about this one. Thanks so much for reading this thing. I got a few more issues I'll be covering later on today. I got Urban Legends, that's a big one. There's the new horror anthology one that came out today that has a Super Sun story. I haven't read that yet, so I'll get to covering that later on today. And the first issue of Batman Incorporated. So look forward to all these different videos being scattered throughout the day or whatever. And yeah, more fun stuff on the way. All right, well, that's all I got to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.